So Alban Mayne came with us on Big Walk 2019, and Jacques, who we've spoken to already this morning, he joined us, Alban's best mate. So Alban, tell us your experience of the Big Walk, mate. You've sent a lovely note where you've shared some of your thoughts, and I was intrigued by this idea of courage. You needed courage even to step to the starting line, as it were. Tell me a bit about that.
I think one thing is had to find the energy and the courage to actually decide to go and do that big walk. There are two dimensions. One was the physical dimension, which I've never done such a long walk, right? So I'm not too overweight, a little bit, but not too much.
Not too much. You're in good shape.
Okay, I'm really fit.
He's so fit.
But I've never done such a long effort, right? Over so many days, walking 25 or 30 kilometers a day. And of course it's uphill and downhill, so it's not so straightforward. So I was had a bit of anxiety about this, but again, I mean, I'm not out of shape, so I thought, okay, I should manage this part. The real anxiety I had was to actually experience so many hours by myself, or together with people, of course, but when you walk, of course, you have many hours when you actually walk by yourself, and there is no way out of your thoughts, in a way, which I was a bit anxious about, because in a day-to-day life, you tend to be so busy that you don't have to look into major issues or big problems to the full extent, right? You can postpone, you can put that aside, you can be busy.
So
with
busy
professional
doing
life, busy doing other things, right? Rather than actually addressing some important stuff, right? And I was a bit worried about this, to be honest.
To see what would come in those moments, in those long moments, that long period of
because and it proved to be actually happening is you have so many hours, and the time is short and long at the same time, and especially long in terms of being by yourself, having to look at your own problems or choices you have to make, or opportunities that you have to choose amongst. And that's not necessarily easy. Sometimes you're comfortable with, the day-to-day stuff.
And just parking that stuff.
And you're parking and that's okay. You do we say in French, faire l'autruche, so doing the ostrich, which should resonate. Maybe there's the same with
putting your head in the sand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you walk this way, you can't do it. You have to face stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which I was aware of. I was expecting this, and was the reason why I needed courage to start.
But you did, and you got to the starting line.
Yeah. Well, you were convincing as well.
We had that experience of doing it last year, and I'd seen my friend John Watkin. We did a podcast with John after the experience as well, and he had a similar challenge. Actually, he was in Australia, so he had a physical challenge in the sense that he had to get here, he had to get on a flight and come. But for him, I think it was the same thing. He was going through some challenging times in his life, his work life, and in some ways in his private life as well. But he hadn't done anything like this before, and it was like, well, should I come? Should I not come? And in the end, actually, Libby, John's wife, said, "Oh, for goodness sake, John, just get on the plane and go." And I think that was the push that he needed. And so when he got here, once he stepped on that plane, he was fine. But it's like, Scott Williams, who came on the walk with us, he does, as we know, so many marathons and things. And he always says the hardest thing is getting to the starting line, because there's so many reasons for you not to do that. Oh, I'm busy, or oh dear, something came up. I'll have to give that marathon a miss, or I'll give that walk a miss, or I'll give that little small thing, that little personal challenge, I'll give that a miss too, because I can just park that over there. So yeah, that's interesting. And but you did, mate. You did get to the starting line, and we had a lovely train trip north on that first day, and started to get to know the participants. We had Steph, we had Scott Williams. We knew each other a bit, but we had some talking to do too. And of course we had Ale, my son, and Mark. So we had a nice little group of people, but. just started to get to know each other pretty quickly. How did that sort of unfold for you as we were on the train, and then, you had that bit of anxiety about the walk, and then suddenly we were in it. We were off and walking. How did it unfold for you over that first day and subsequent days of the walk?
Yeah, the first day was, I think, similar to Jacques. It was very much about checking on physical capability, right? I mean, can I walk, 25 kilometers or 20 kilometers? So that was the first thing. The second thing was to actually, of course, take the time. And I will talk a lot about time during our conversation, because to me it's a very important thing that I take away from this walk is time, in a way, time management, and take time to do things. So the first day was about taking time to listen to others and discover others in a group. And we had very different profiles, very different backgrounds, and even motivation to actually be on the walk. But we quickly, we were walking, and often we were walking two by two or three together, having very open conversations with, I think, honest and not much bullshit, not much, I would say, corporate world sugarcoating or all this crap.
Pretty much none, I reckon.
Yeah, it was very...
dive straight into it.
Yes. And from there, the trust builds up very quickly amongst the team, I would say. We quickly became a team, actually.
Didn't we?
Yeah. Without knowing each other beforehand. So I thought that was quite interesting. And based, the team was based on of course, the physical effort, because we all face challenges, along the way. Sometimes with injuries, sometimes with mental. I mean, it was more difficult mentally to actually carry on, but we kept helping each other. So already the first day, it was already the case. We already helped each other to actually get to the end, which I found in a pure way, right, without all this, again, corporate bullshit stuff. So that was very refreshing. And when we actually managed to finish the first day, and again, it was very difficult for some,
it was
not
a long
so difficult
first day,
for
wasn't it?
others. Yeah,
it was a long day, the first day, wasn't it? Yeah.
So when we got there, we were all happy to have managed it all together. And it was not an individual victory; it was a group victory, right? That we made it. So that was. I found this very fascinating, because it was. It
was genuine too, wasn't it?
It was very genuine, and it already happened the first day, right? When we talked about the fifth day, and you discover many things the fifth day, but already the first day we discovered each other, we had trust, and I think we all felt comfortable walking together and even sleeping together.
Yeah, we did, didn't
not
we?
in a bad way, but in the same room, right?
In a nice dormitory,
And we were all comfortable with that, right? After that first day. Second day, to me, was one of the best ones in terms of connecting with nature. So that walk through the forest with the mist, a bit of rain in the leaves and stuff. Got me into it. That was the moment when I felt moving from an outsider from the nature to becoming part of the nature, with no arrogance, but really I was feeling so comfortable. And we stopped that day with the contest of taking pictures and stuff, but also we stopped I had to stop, to enjoy the mist, looking at the trees with the mist, in between and stuff. I enjoyed listening to the rain in the leaves. I enjoyed smelling the
leaves, the smell of the forest,
and the smell of the forest, really.
Yeah, when it's wet.
So it was a bit selfish in a way. So I had this selfish moment, but enjoying that, to the full extent. But that was a very important moment for me. And as I'm, of course, very sensitive to what's happening to the nature and to the world right now, it felt, it was very strong in my heart as well that day, right? So there was a moment moving from human to living
with nature. I mean, sort of almost
with
being,
nature,
we went up on a train, of course, and things like this, very, this human creation, very much sort of stepping from the human world and being part of that, and then stepping back and being a part of the natural world.
Yes, and I was already in the second day, which I was very surprised about. It was very
quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quick, yeah.
And then when we had that rain through the leaves and we just stopped, and there wasn't any other sound, was there? There was just that noise of the raindrops on the leaves. It was so beautiful. And remember we made some little videos of that, didn't we? Just standing there, and just priceless, really priceless. And everyone experienced it. The whole group experienced it. And off we went again, and then, of course, sun came out and that created a different thing. We had a few birds. Nature was very present through the whole walk, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I learned, thanks to you, and you pushed us to do that, but I learned to pause, stop, and observe, but not observe only from only with the eyes, but smelling and listening, and so it was really a 360 experience, and also taking, which is a personal challenge, is taking the time to do it. Which in the day-to-day life, you run and you look for performance, you deliver.
Deliver
for your family, deliver for your work, for your job, and you kind of running all the time. And during that walk, at least I learned how to pause more and to enjoy the moment more.
Be present in the moment.
Be present in the moment, and together with friends now and the nature, which I found really powerful, and I really want to keep that ability, because too often we actually we don't watch, we don't look, we don't listen, we don't smell.
Exactly. Yeah. You mentioned in our chats about connection, and that this was the real essence of the experience for you, and you've just talked a bit about that, becoming connected back into nature. But just that connection word, it's the same for me. I think it's the same for everyone. Just tell us a little bit about your thoughts about that, mate.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is we first we connected with new people, right? And we connected on a very healthy base of trying to achieve something together as a team. So very healthy base to connect. So we connected as people together, right? So that was one type of connection. Second connection was with the nature, as we talked about, right? Is this walk is magnificent because you see very different types of nature, and the walk also enables you to actually stop when you feel it, and you did that, right? So you allowed us to stop when we feel we need to stop, very often not for physical reasons, but because it's just beautiful.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or you want to enjoy that moment, or
photographs of mushrooms.
You don't have to show off with this. Scott did the most beautiful picture of, I think, the whole week with mushrooms. Yeah. But so the connection with nature was, I think, very interesting. So that day with the mist was a kick in the butt in getting to not only being an outsider of the nature, but be part of the nature. And later on, we had interactions with cows, which to me was a magic moment as well, when some cows came to us to be pet, right? And to me that was really amazing.
And we'd walked along. We'd had a long. That was about day. I'm just trying to think now. That must have been about day 5.
Yeah,
and so we'd done a lot of walking. We were all a bit tired. We'd walked up quite a long way that day. And here these cows came to welcome us.
Yeah,
it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was to me. It was really, really interesting and a great feeling. Because they were really welcoming us, but also congratulating us. I think to have actually gone all the way, and you could see in their eyes it was pure kindness.
It was.
They were. Of course, along the way we had many curious cows coming to, check on us and see who are these guys, because there were not so many people on the walk.
No.
We were really crossing fields and stuff in the middle of the cows. But these cows came to they
were curious,
to
weren't
interact with
they?
us. Huh?
They were curious.
Yeah. That was really cool. So it was also a connection to life, and to me, it was a reminder that I don't think we behave in a correct way in many ways, as far as the nature, or as far as cows in particular as well. There are plenty of videos on YouTube to confirm that.
Yeah.
But we are so human centric and so driven by profits and speed and achievements, concrete achievements, not soft achievement, but really, I mean, deliver. That we
To make profit.
To make profits, yeah.
Yeah.
That we forget the sensitivity of wildlife and also cows and trees and forests and nature in general.
Yeah.
So I felt really moved by this, by meeting those cows. It may, for most people, they
just
most
cows.
people will smile,
Yeah.
But I mean, some people eat those cows. Right?
That's right.
I don't, but some people do.
Yeah.
And to me, it's it was kind of confirming that at least that choice of not eating meat and stuff, it's the right choice.
It's the right choice.
From that moment, right?
Yeah.
And then
this connection with yourself.
The third level was to connect. I mean, I could connect more with myself, right? And that was the reason why I was anxious.
This was the anxiety.
Yeah.
How did it go? How did it unfold? Do you think over the days?
Yeah, it was not as scary in the end. I was really rich. I got into removing a lot of the distractions. In some of the choices I have to make moving forward. So it was very useful for me, and the beauty of the walk is actually because you have this physical effort and you get into an automatic. So walking is not. I mean, of course, you concentrate on where you put your feet to not fall off or fall off the cliff or whatever. But it becomes automatic, and your mind is also navigating by itself. And thoughts and ideas are coming along the way.
Yep.
I didn't really push for solutions, but some choices came to my mind, along the way, but naturally, not.
You weren't hunting them.
No.
You didn't go looking for them,
no.
and you scare them away. I think when you do that, so you're more like the cows. Yeah. You let them come to you.
Yes, and they came to me, and I made some choices and confirmed some choices I thought I would confirm during that walk. So, but in a very smooth way. So not in a dramatic way or in a violent way or
even a planned way. Like, let's have a meeting now and make some choices.
No, it came along the way in a natural way and a smooth way. And I don't think I've been cool and relaxed like I am today since for so many years. So many years.
Well, that's I'm interested now in the future. I mean, I think I asked Jacques, what was the highlight of the walk, and maybe it's the wrong question. We shouldn't pick one particular moment through the walk because I think it was a series of experiences. But as you say, I think, and I feel it too, after the walk like that, you have this really calm feeling, and I think part of the challenge is to keep that calm feeling. Because it's a good feeling and you really feel much more, as you say, this connected word keeps coming back, connected to yourself, connecting to the people you were with. And I feel even more connected to the people who weren't there because I'm open to those people now. Even though they weren't there, I have this openness that, means that I'm able to better connect with someone who I walk past in the street. And of course, connected to nature. And so the challenge, I think, is to keep that. You go back into the busy world where you're surrounded by people who haven't had the same experience as you. They don't really understand where you are in terms of, your own self. They may not have had that experience for years either. Mm-hmm. How do you think you're going to go, Alban, sort of carrying that forward? You know, as we said, you know, there's opportunities. We live in a beautiful part of the world. We can go up into the mountain and have a walk. And so do you think this continuing practice, it's like a practice, isn't it? It's not, we don't call it a religion or anything like this, but it's like a practice that if you say, okay, I'm going up into the forest for an hour just to reconnect to that feeling that I experienced on the big walk, or, you know, Jacques is organising a walk in France. Let's stay connected to that. Do you think you're going to be able to do that? I mean, what's your hope there?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to happen. And we talked about it. You know, another way for me to relax is to go sailing. It's a bit different because the physical effort is a bit different as well. And there is no ocean, so
we're not in the ocean here. Yeah,
no ocean here. So Lake Geneva is nice, but it's not the ocean. But anyway, I will keep walking for sure, and try to keep to share it also with my wife and my kids, and get them to at least understanding that. Because to your point about the fact that you're better, or you're able to connect better with people who are not on the walk, I feel exactly the same. I can't wait for my wife and my kids to come back from the UK. They are in the UK right now, to actually share the experience, talk to them, reconnect on a different base, on a more hard based than objective based. You know what I mean, right?
I do know. Yeah. There's a lot of these things are hard to put into words. In fact.
Yeah. But you know, so I'll keep walking for sure. We will keep walking, hopefully together.
Yeah.
Really like to do that. We'll walk, you know, in October, November with Jacques in France. But I keep walking for sure on a regular basis. Try to extend that to my family and to some other guys as well. I think it's really required in this world of where we run after a lot of superficial stuff. When the real stuff, you need a bit more time and calmness and time to get into the deepness of it, right? And that's not easy because the world as it is driving you to actually gesticulate and do stuff, right? And
to
not think too much, but run, deliver, hit the numbers, you know, on a quarterly basis. If you work in a company that's on the stock market or whatever, right? But you're always driven by hard things, and you hardly use your heart. And we already talked about it, you know, way before, but again during the walk. A lot of the choices we make, we're lucky that everyone on the walk was educated, but we use a lot of very rational tools to actually make decisions. I mean, SWOTs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And rarely do we use our heart or gut feel or intuition to actually make choices, and that's what's missing.
Yeah. Because
nothing will change if we keep using the same tools.
Right.
And we keep, you know, having the world going in the direction it's going. So some people are very happy. I mean, you know, I've been happy until I understood the side effect, but I've been happy leveraging, you know, that to have a very decent life and offer that to my family and stuff. But if we want to change the world, or if we want to improve the world at our scale, using our heart is a big thing, I think. And you push that, and that's my takeaway, is using emotions and heart, and my heart much more in decisions and in the way I will interact with people as well, and influence people. Yeah, that's, I think, the one key takeaway. And the other key takeaway is manage time better. So take the time to pause and observe and listen and with people, with nature, with my kids, and talk less, you know, and listen more.
Listen more.
Yeah.
I talk about a different way of being in the world, a different way of being a human being. And, you know, this really is, for me, we talk about in businesses, they have strap lines and logos and things like this. But for me, if I had to summarise the idea behind the big walk. Well, let's say just multi-day walks. You go on a one-day walk, it's great, it's fantastic, but you don't get what we got. I mean, I think, as you guys have said, as you and Jacques have said, after one day, we actually got a lot, but probably because we knew we were going to be out there for another 5 or 6 days. If you just go for a one-day walk with people, it's good. This is a valuable experience, but the idea of a multi-day walk and just saying, right, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be out in nature. I have to get to know these people, because I can't just pretend that I'm interested in what they've got to say because I know at 5 o'clock we're getting on a train home and that was fine. Thanks very much. I never need to see them again. No, when you're on a multi-day walk, these are the most important people in your life, and you're with them, and you're there in nature, and so you have to open to these people. You have to open to nature, and you have to open to yourself. And so I talk about this, a different way of being. And I feel that, and we haven't mentioned that all along the route you collected the plastic that you found along the route. And this is something that's very important to you personally, particularly ocean plastic, and you raised money for
1,500 euros, which is not bad.
It's fantastic. I think it's incredible. And last year John raised money for Movember, and I think that this is part of the walk too. You can use the walk to really connect to an issue that's important to you. And you collected a lot of plastic. We must say congratulations to the Swiss, because there wasn't that much plastic out there, which I was sort of surprised by, really. I mean, I remember last year there wasn't much when we did it, but I thought we would have found more. So well done the Swiss for keeping their nature very clean. But you did collect that plastic. You raised 1,500 euros. And I feel that, one of the reasons why I started the idea of multi-day walks is that it gives us a personal platform to be different ourselves. And by being different ourselves, we can influence the people around us to be different too. And so for me, in many ways, it's a social and political act. Multi-day walking, get out there, put yourself in a different place, connect to that, yourself, to nature, the other people. So when you come back, you can start interacting with people in a different way and having more influence. Interested in your thoughts about that, mate. With you've done the plastic, and you had that motivation as we were walking along. I really have this sense of it being a social and political act as much as a personal act of searching.
Well, I think you said it very well. So I will not add too much about it, but for sure you can. You need to be feeling good yourself. To be balance yourself, to be able to actually influence others, right? And it's not that I have a very strong objective to get everyone to think the same way as I think. It's not the case at all. But things are not going right in this world, I think, and you need to first, be really strong, balance yourself to be able to actually act and influence the world in the right way. And the walk are kind of really a big reset to yourself in getting into what really matters, which is not freaking stock price or those kind of things. That's important for some people, but I think what really matters is connection to the nature, connection to you, to your friends, to your family, to who you are, to what you want to do, and what you want to live when you're not going to be on this earth anymore. And this can only be, I think, be fully satisfied with what you will have done during your life if you use your heart to actually make your decisions. Because you're not going to remember what you achieved in your company or being promoted this and that when you're about to die. You're going to remember what you've conveyed to your friends, to your family, to your kids, what values you actually gave to them, all these things, of course. And this walk is enabling you to actually go reconnect to those, right? As opposed to being distracted by social media, your phone, again, the stock market or whatever day-to-day stuff. So that I think is super valuable to actually ensure that you your personal path is going on the right way, and not get distracted by all the stuff that surrounds you in the day-to-day life. So that's super important.
Yeah, getting back to the essential.
Yes.
Which is...
Nice transition to have a small book.
Yeah.
The Little Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, that I'm sure you read. Huh? But,
yes, I have. Very beautiful.
Yeah. And one big quote is in French. It's a French book.
Yes.
Not Australian.
It's very good.
French book. On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur, l'essentiel est invisible pour les yeux. And that's what we really, started to experience. So we started to actually be amazed with our eyes and our all senses, right? But at the end, I think we looked at each other and the nature through our hearts more than our eyes and ears or whatever.
I think we did.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, thank you so much, mate. That touches my heart too. So look, thank you. And we're going to do lots of walking together going forward, and with Jacques as well, and more friends. And so it was a really wonderful experience to be out on the trail with you. And I'm just so excited that we're going to do that, more of that, and to see where everyone goes in their life now with this interesting new base from springboard of their heart, rather than some worrying about stock prices and things like this. So thank you so much, mate.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.